Hello everybody, MegaZardX here, back at it again to give y'all another very exciting collection reflection video where I take the time out just go through my whole entire gaming library. Could be a game, could be a limited edition, could be a console. This is my one time out of the week to talk to you about something out of my gaming library. And for today, we're going to be talking about none other than Super Mario World 2, known as Yoshi's Island. Now, this game right here, it's not a game I actually own myself physically on the Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo is one of those consoles I just never had owned while I was growing up, unfortunately though. But I did manage to play this game on the SNES Classic, so I do own that. And that was my introduction to playing this game because I heard a lot of great things about this one game. I was like, you know what, when I picked up the SNES Classic, I know I have to try this out and give it a whirl and see why people out there love this game so much. And I was just simply amazed by this game though. So that's going to be the topic for today's video though. So if you hadn't already done so, make sure you go and hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things video game related I feel like talking about and discussing. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight up into this video. Yoshi's Island. Now, this game right here means a lot to me because there's a lot of great games that are on the Super Nintendo, such as like Earthbound and stuff like that. A lot of great RPGs though. But when you go back and look at the 2D platformers, such as like your Donkey Kong Country trilogies and stuff, including Yoshi's Island, I think this game right here is the pinnacle of platforming, at least within that one genre for this one series right here. Donkey Kong Country 2, I think is probably the absolute best, but Yoshi's Island is a close second right here though. And at least with what they were able to do with the inclusion of the Super FX chip, which will really push the the advancements of the 2D and 3D graphics for the Super Nintendo at the time though, I just think they managed to get a lot accomplished out of this. Now obviously it's a little weird how they call this Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. I guess they're trying to build off of the success of the first Super Mario World though. But this right here, while yes, we saw Yoshi's inclusion within the series first showcase off of Super Mario World right here, he put in a ton, and I do mean a ton of work up within Yoshi's Island right here. A game purely dedicated towards him, and the first that really, I feel, there was like a Yoshi game on the NES and stuff like that though, but I think this game right here truly kick-started off his own whole entire franchise series right here though. And Yoshi's Island, I don't know, the way how you be running around with that D-pad, which the D-pad felt so good up on that system though. But the way how you be running around and stuff, turning left and right and stuff, I felt like the platform was really tight niche. Like you really weren't making a lot of mistakes. Like if you were telling Yoshi to go from A to B, he was doing that and then some though. Now, obviously, when you're going around and playing this game, obviously you have Yoshi, and on your back, you got Baby Mario. Obviously, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, they both got separated at the very beginning of the game, though. Kamek was, causing some mischief and stuff like that. And then, obviously, it's up to the whole Yoshi clan to be able to get from Mario from all the way over here, all the way over there to get him reunited with his brother, Luigi, though. Now, obviously, while you got Baby Mario on your back, obviously, you don't really have lives up in here, which is something that you're really used to within a lot of the 2D Mario platformers and stuff like that. However, if you do happen to get hit by Yoshi, obviously, the baby goes off in a bubble and starts making this iconic. So I know for a lot of people, that noise right there that the babies managed to give was pretty annoying for most people. I don't know, I really didn't have too much of an issue with it. Yes, I got hit as Yoshi quite a few different times though, but I mean, like, if you're just getting overly, wrecked upon and you traversing around with Yoshi like this, I don't know, maybe it's just a skill issue, you need to get a little bit better though, but I don't know. The Baby Marios, they never really bothered me at least that much though. Now obviously you go around and you eat certain enemies and you create these eggs, which allow you to be able to hold a button on that SNES controller and allow you to kind of have like an auto reticle that starts to go off, and you get to throw these eggs at different things where, sometimes it will help you in terms of like either fighting an enemy, shooting something out of the air, hitting one of those little cloud balloon things, which could make who knows what happen to the level. Like a bridge could pop up, a ladder or something like that though, or it could drop out some flowers and stuff like that though. But yeah, honestly, there's a lot of cool things you're able to do with it, and I don't know, it just felt so natural like that. Like obviously that's where the throwing mechanic first iterated in within the whole entire series. I think since then They got kind of close with that same feeling with some other things like Yoshi's Wally World and stuff like that, though. But Crafted World kind of felt a little bit off. I don't know, at least to me. I don't know why though. But anyway, this game series, like, oh my gosh, the level of diversity and stuff like that. At least when you were going through and running through these levels, you were getting some challenges out of these level structures and stuff like that. Whether it be like a an auto scrolling level or just being a static one where you being able to move left and right and stuff. The difficulty was there with Yoshi's Island, but I think as you moved on in the series with later iterations within the Yoshi series, I felt like, I don't know why, but you went from having Yoshi being a big bad Mama Chima to somebody that's really only associated with younger audiences that love Nintendo consoles. And ideally, you're talking about maybe audiences that were probably from range from the age of 5 to maybe 8 or 9 or something like that. I don't know. They really treat Yoshi series as a baby series. But the Super Nintendo version with Yoshi's Island is anything but that. You give that to like a 7 or 8 year old person, and they're probably struggling with it at least a little bit though, because some of the platforming up in it is a little bit tight. It is a little bit forgiving the fact that you only have to run around and grab Baby Mario and then you're all set and good to go though. However, at least nowadays, I don't know, the platforming and stuff like that, it's just not as tight as what it used to be within this game right here though. Obviously, you had some great environments as well, and I think you had some pretty cool, unique bosses, different ways how you had to wind up taking them down, whether it be via your ground pound or throwing an egg at a certain area on their body or something like that though. There was a lot of different unique things that made this game really shine though. And man, I had to mention this since it's Yoshi's Island. I think that the boss fight against Bowser Jr. up in this one though, or Baby Bowser, wherever you want to call him, I think it's one of the best and most iconic boss fights from the Nintendo villains in general. Like, it is up there, especially for Super Nintendo bosses right here. This is cream of the crop right here. I don't think it gets much better than this, because literally when they bust out that theme and you have Bowser Jr. come over here and it's like that thing hits so hard. I mean, shoot, I never experienced a boss fight like that in general. Oh my gosh, that gave me like a thrill and a little bit of rush. Obviously, the fight itself isn't overly complicated or anything like that, though. But as Bowser Jr. is slowly progressing from the background to the foreground, which they actually use a little bit of that up in this game, though. He got bigger and bigger, and you're just trying to move from platform to platform, dodging his fireballs and stuff like that, to the point where he gets so close, you manage to get one of your eggs and throw it at him, and he flies all the way back out in the background, and then he marches his way back towards you. I don't know, it's just something moving around then, and then even then you have like rocks and stuff falling, and it makes the gaps even bigger, so now your platforming gets even a little bit more tighter to move around and stuff while you're still dodging fireballs. I think that's just one of the best Super Nintendo boss fights right there, final boss fights right there. I just think it's so great for a platforming game. And I don't know, since then, we just felt like we hadn't hit that pinnacle within the Yoshi series. I hate to bag on some of these more future iterations and stuff like that. I looked at them and played around and experimented with them, but I was like, man, we need to get back up to where Yoshi Island is. I don't think there has been a single Yoshi game outside this very first one for Yoshi's Island that managed to live up to it though. So Nintendo, I don't know what y'all need to do. If you need to pass this off to the people that made the Mario Brothers, like what, Super Mario Odyssey, like pass it off to that team or something like that, having to just do a quick little game like that, this game needs to go back to the chalkboard, or at least the series needs to go back to the chalkboard and needs to be worked on and re-edited on, because I love the heck out of this one though. And yes, we don't need something like a Yoshi's Island that we got, what was it, on the DS or something like that managed to kind of butcher some of the aspects we really love about the Super Nintendo version of it right there though. But oh man, I can go on this long rant and tangent all day long though, but I want to kind of keep it short, simple, and down to the point though. But y'all gotta let me know down in the comment section down below, what all do you think about the Yoshi Island series right here? Like, were you a really big fan of this one in particular, or did you happen to like some of those other future iterations? I think Wally World was probably the closest thing we got into Yoshi's Island. I think it's the closest one, but it's not quite that right there though. But honestly, yeah, that's gonna basically do it for today's video. So if you really like this, make sure you're gonna hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things video game related I feel like talking about and discussing. So remember y'all, until we're a video I make next, see y'all.